Alright guys, Rockin' Rob back here again at that ass. Okay, today what we're going to do is I'm going to show y'all how to wrap a Super Nano Coil. Super Nano. Okay, today you can use 28, 26, even 24 gauge Canthal on these builds. Most likely 26 and 24 gauge, depending on how many wraps you do. Probably going to end up coming out to be a sub-on build. So let's get right to it. I'm going to take and I'm going to cut me off about 4 inches of Canthal wire. The reason I measured this wire, guys, again, before I cut it, is because when I first started doing it, I used to just pull me some wire out, cut it, go on down the road with my coil build, and then I got to learn real quick that when you do that, most of the time you end up wasting more wire than what you use. So yet again, all you're going to need is about that long of a piece to do this with. And before I get started, I'm going to hit this M16 one time or two. Get me in the mood to build this thing for y'all. There again, y'all need to check out my channel on YouTube, Vaping the Basics. I have a link on my Facebook page to get to it, because I'm going to tell y'all guys, a lot of these videos that I make are too long. Facebook won't let me upload them. You got a 20-minute limit on Facebook on these videos, and just about every video that I've got about wrapping coils is going to be that or a little longer. So I actually have to post them to YouTube and then share them over to Facebook, a lot of them. So if you're checking this out from the Facebook page, then go to the YouTube channel and check it out, because there's probably videos on there that's not going to be on my Facebook page. Alright. Let's get to this. We've got our 28 gauge Canthal. Now, to make these Super Nano coils, a lot of people will take and wrap 28 gauge Canthal around 28 gauge Canthal. Well, I don't know if you've ever worked with Canthal, but if you have, can you see how springy that shit is and how loose it is? Well, good luck wrapping it around another piece of Canthal. I mean, I can do it, but the coils look like shit. I mean, you know, and there again, it don't really matter what the coils look like, but I'm a perfectionist, so I've got to get them to look the best that I can. So what I'm going to wrap them on, this is a PAPERCLIP. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but this is a PAPERCLIP that I've taken, and I've taken one end and made me like a little handle, put a little loop and twisted around, made me a little handle to hold on to. And then this other end here is what we're going to end up wrapping this coil on. Now, what I like to do is I like to take from the back side of this, I'm going to take and I'm going to stick one end of this Canthal through that loop just like that right there. Okay? After I'm done doing that, I'm going to take this one side that I have twisted through the loop, and I'm just going to twist it back around a time or two just to give me something to hold to. You see what I'm saying? Okay, now I'm going to take, since you always want to wrap from the back side of whatever you're wrapping off of, okay, this first one that I'm going to make is going to be just a starter guide, okay, to guide my wire. Now, there again, I like to use these channel locks. I'll take these channel locks and I would clip them just to the very end of this Kanthal wire here. Just like that. Okay? And what that does is that actually weights down the wire so my coils stay tight. Now there again, in my prior videos about coil making, I've posted if you're going to be building these coils a lot, you need to go to the Home Depot, pick you up something like this, Cobalt. It's a little case. It has a bunch of miniature needle nose and cutters and just all sorts of little goodies. I'm going to twist this camera around just a little bit where y'all can see that. That's my setup. All these right here is what come in that pack, and there's a few more that I don't use. But if you're going to really be building these coils, you really need some kind of basic little get up like I've got there. So you got everything right at the, you know, touch of a finger or touch of a hand or whatever the hell you want to say. Okay, now back to wrapping this thing. All you're going to do, just like the micro coil, you're going to take and you're going to wrap this thing just as tight as you can around this piece of paperclip here. And there again, guys, you want to try to get these coils just as close as possible without actually one overlaying on the other one. You don't want that, because it'll most likely short out with you or something. And now in my prior videos, you know, I've said, you know, that I don't torch the Kanthal wire before I wrap it. Well, I didn't tell you the reason for that. I was going to tell you the reason for it, and then I got sidetracked or whatever. We're going to do a 10 wrap on this micro coil. And the reason for that is, the reason that I don't torch the Kanthal is because it's just a waste of time, people. There's no need to torch the Kanthal. Before you wrap this wire, for the simple reason of, when you put it on your atomizer and you get the shorts out of it, that's all you're doing. You know, if you torch it, you know, before you wrap it, then your shorts aren't going to be as bad when you put it on the atomizer. But 9 out of 10 times you're still going to have shorts. So, I mean, it ain't going to matter, really, because when you heat that Kanthal up plenty whenever you put it on that atomizer and you pop that fire button to get the shorts out of it. I have a video on how to get the shorts out of your coils on here too. So just check it out, and it'll explain to you on how to get the shorts out. Now next, what I'm going to do after I get this coil wrapped, I'm just going to take my thumbnails and I'm just going to push these coils together as tight as I can. You can do it with needle nose pliers or whatever, but on these Super Nanos, they're so small and they're so finicky that you don't want to bend one. So now what I'm going to do is, now that I've got my thing wrapped and I've got it pushed up as close as I can get it, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut these leads down. So I'm not going to need that much at all. I'm going to get my little side dikes here, and I'm going to cut it down some. Now I always like to leave one lead just a little bit longer than the other one, so that way when you stick it in your addy, it helps, you know, because when you get one in, then the other one, you don't have that excess wire in the way on the other one. Okay, now that we've got her wrapped and cut down, the next thing to do is just take very easy just take and put your fingers over the coil and just twist your paper clip right off of it. And blammo, there you have a super nano coil. Let me hold this up here, because I noticed in my other videos you can't really see that coil without something in front of it. There. I don't know if you can see that. Let me do this. Okay. There's your coil, folks, right there. A super nano coil. If you can see that any better like that. Anyways, I don't know if you can see it or if you can't, but she looks good. She looks a hell of a ton better than trying to wrap that damn thing on another piece of 28 gauge Kanthal. Kanthal is just too springy and too damn loose, and it, you know, it don't have enough backbone behind it to really do anything with. So there again, I don't wrap it on 28 gauge wire. I wrap it on a paper clip or something that's pretty equivalent to a piece of 28 gauge Kanthal. That's sturdier. I mean, you know, anything that's sturdier, but I would say probably a paper clip is going to be your best bet to getting it the same size as a piece of Kanthal, as a piece of 28 gauge Kanthal. Either that or like a guitar string even, you know, like one of the smaller guitar strings. I don't really know the size. I can check into that and get it though. But anyway, that's how you do it. You know, most people when they build these super nanos, they run them duals or quads. Like I said, on this thing right here, I'm running quad super nanos, just like the one I built on this thing here. They really produce good flavor, good vapor. Now you've seen all the vapor that I just put out. My battery's starting to go dead on this thing. So even at that, these things put out twice the vapor of what I just put out on a fully charged battery. I've got another one on the charger right now. But this thing's starting to get a little dead on me. But that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's how you wrap a super nano coil, 10 wraps on a paper clip with 28 gauge Kanthal. And when you go to stick it in your addy, I don't have an addy that's freed up at the moment. I need to free one up actually. It works the same way as the micro coil. You just take and stick it back through your paper clip. And you're going to take and you're going to stick it on your addy just like that, you know, and tighten her down. Now on these super nanos, you don't really try to run any cotton through that little bitty hole. You know, there's no point. It's so small, it would probably just give you a burnt taste anyway. What you want to do is you want to make you a cotton bed underneath those coils. You know, you don't really need a lot of cotton because, you know, when you put the E-juice to it, it's going to swell. The cotton's going to swell out. But just enough cotton on these things for these coils to touch the top of your cotton bed. You know what I mean? Let me get my box here. How I do it, and it works really great, is you just put you a cotton cloud underneath it there, and you want your Super Nano, you want it to just barely lay on top of that cotton. Just where it's barely touching your cotton there. And that way when it gets hot, because these little suckers get hot, when it gets hot, and what it does is it produces your vapor off of that soaked cotton there. But anyways, that's it in a nutshell, guys, on how to wrap a Super Nano Coil. So until next time, just remember, vape safe, be responsible, and keep on vaping.